Alrighty. Well, now that my computer's working, we can get started with the unboxing here. So, my main webcam, which is the C930, would not pull a video signal for some odd reason, and I had to update the drivers. And then when I started the stream starting little thing with the background music, then my computer crashed. So hopefully we're going to be good for this stream, and I don't know what's going on there. I think the USB hub I had the cameras going through was faulty. So but what we're doing today, or tonight, because it's midnight over here where I'm at, and it's Friday night, so I'm going to be up late tonight the TiVo Tornado is finally in its rightful place, and I figured I just might as well get this review done, because I got this one, which Athorbot sent me. They're a new 3D printer company out of China, and I had been getting questions from people asking me, have you heard about the Athorbot? Have you heard about this printer? And I'd never heard of them, so I reached out to them. They contacted me back, and they're like, yeah, we'll send you out the smaller one. So they've got the Athorbot. This is the Buddy couple, and the way their modeling numbers work is they've got the Buddy and the Brother. And the Buddy is 210 by 270 by 220, and then the Brother is 300 by 300 by 300, so it's a bigger build volume. I believe this one is a $500 machine, so the box is heavy as hell, so I'm really hoping that the weight translates to good build material. So I'm just going to move my chat window over here and my stream monitor. And I got to make the text bigger so I can actually see what the hell I'm looking at. But they've got a single extruder and a dual extruder version for each of these, the Brother and the Buddy. So they sent me the smaller one with the dual extruder, so we're going to find out. I've just opened the box to make sure everything, wasn't damaged. The box looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing here. So yeah, I got even more obscure printers sitting in my living room that we're going to do next week. But the next printer after this is the Anycubic Mega i3, which is up there. That's what's in that box up there. That was a GearBest review. So I got some Reese's and energy drinks. So let's see if we can do this. I don't know where I was like, I knew I still my vape somewhere. So when you open this up, they give you 2 sample rolls of PLA, I assume, not in vacuum packaging. So we'll see. Get the mic out of my way. We'll see how well these actually print, because these probably have a bunch of moisture in them. But I do have a bunch of other filament, obviously. Let's see here. We got a welcome letter. Congratulations on your Athorbot 3D printer. We're excited to welcome you to the community. It says, to start printing, please find the manual, firmware applications software on the CD. If you don't have the CD reader, please head over to download the manual from athorbot.com/blog/downloads. And they got a support email address here, a Skype, YouTube channel, and then facebook.com/Athorbot. And then they said here, your printer comes with a 30-day warranty. For VIP membership, we'll provide benefits and updates monthly. I'm not sure what the VIP membership is, actually. So, and it's got a sheet here, warranty. So, power supply, board, LCD, motors, and the cables are all 1-year warranties. What's up, Tor? What's up, Anthony? Ritual, I know you drop in on my streams all the time. I can't remember your name. I'm sorry. 3 months warranty on the heater block, heater cartridge, thermistor, extruder fan, turbo fan, which is layer fan, nozzle throat, and nozzle. And they got a thing here, how to obtain warranty services, support email ticket via VIP portal. So I'm not sure what the actual warranty is. I'm wondering if the 30-day, because it says there's a 30-day return. And basically, most of the major components are a year. So that's good. We're just going to take the packaging material out of here. And this is a mostly assembled printer, so that's the reason why I'm doing this so late. So I should be able to knock this out in a quick amount of time. We've got some little sample prints that are dual color. And this printer not only can... Cable stuck here. This printer can not only do dual color, but it can do 2 colors and mix them, which is kind of cool. It's a mixing nozzle. So hopefully we'll see how that works. I'm going to switch over to small cam here so you can see. You can see this right here is the dual color print they did. It doesn't look too bad. Weird choice of colors. This one definitely used a purge tower. but I'm assuming this is one that my printer in this box made. So let's get on with it. Alright, so in the package here we got an AC cord. You know, this is a lot easier when I had another guy helping me out. Anthony. 2 PTFE tubes of equal length. We've got a bunch of wrenches, actual wrenches, hex wrenches, Phillips and flathead screwdriver, and some, not flush cutters, but like legit side cutters. Standard USB cable, the blue variety. They actually have a CD. I was wondering if that was a typo, but they actually have a CD. Let's see here. 2 filament spool holder, like mounts, whatever you want to call them. So we'll set those over here. And then we got 2, I think these are 8mm, yeah, 8mm rods for the spool holders, which I like. I like the 8mm rods. A little bag label, extra parts. There's an extra end stop switch in here, some T-nuts, screws, washers, nuts. Let's see. And a bag full of other nuts. I'm assuming these are going to be used for actual assembly. Oh man, masking tape. This is, that's pretty outdated. I don't know anyone who uses masking tape. We've got 1 extruder motor, which is actually really nice. It's all pre-assembled. The extruder feels nice. It's your standard, well, not standard. I shouldn't say standard because it's a little beefier than your like MK8s. It's the same type of one your Wanhows use. So this one goes down further than the other because they put, whoever assembled this shoved a screw in here. So I'm gonna have to probably fix that because there should not be a screw there. If I find my needle nose pliers, I guess I can use their little thing here. Wouldn't be a Chinese printer if there wasn't something wrong out of the box. So I don't know who put that screw in there, but that's not supposed to be in there. So we'll pop that out and put the spring back in. There we go. These are pretty beefy motors too, if you guys see here. Yeah. All right, now for the top frame, which is really heavy. It's steel, it's not aluminum. The frame is actually steel. Very Wanhow-esque, if you guys can see here. Very Wanhow-esque. So, it's just cardboard for packaging, so I'm going to throw that over there. And we've got Dual Z. This is a little, let's see here, it's a little flimsy, but once we mount everything up, that should sturdy up. But it is steel. This is actually kind of heavy, to be honest. Standard fare, dual motors, and then we got the dual extruder here, or dual hot end here, and it basically just has one nozzle and both feed in. That's how it does the mixing. So if you ever seen a diamond hot end, that's the it's like a diamond hot end with 2 inlets instead of 3 or 4. Moving on. Take this out of here. Control box, which is about as big as a CR10, just longer. I'm looking in here to see what brand the power supply is, because I'm curious to see if they use a Meanwell, because this is more of a premium printer in terms of price. I'll have to crack it open and see. But it might be a mean wheel, honestly. I'm hoping it is. So everything's got like these plastic sleevings on the wire. Heated bed has the standard like A-net style plug, which I'm not a fan of. And what else do we got in here? Just the bottom portion, which I'm going to take out, which is actually built out of steel and aluminum extrusion. You can see here. Steel Y carriage plate, so that's good. Yeah, we're looking pretty good here. Belts are actually tensioned on here, for the Y anyways. And you got these cable clips all over. So, very premium feel to it, so that's good. The stock, like, board they put over the bed is like a PCB material with some holes in it. So, hopefully we have, don't turn on and take it apart. We're going to take it apart after we hook it all up. So that's it. That's everything in the box. I'm thinking maybe we should go over to the, what's the word I'm looking for? Go over to the website to see the assembly guide. The only thing I'm not seeing is there's no feet on here. Let me see if they're in the box. Nope, no feet for this little printer here. So, let's switch over to the screen here, which I gotta move my OBS to another monitor. And let's see what we got going on here. Let me move shrink my thing down here. So they said to go to, where did I get the t-shirt? I got it on Amazon. I'm not going to put this CD in my computer because it's from China. And I don't know what could be on there malware-wise, and I don't feel like finding out. Nothing against Athorbot, but in general, I don't put Chinese discs in my computer. So let's see what we got here. It says to go to, just check in here. Let's see, Athorbot.com/blogs/downloads. It's a weird URL. So let's see here. Firmware for Brother Auto Level. They do make the actual extruders, like you can replace them. So they got the firmware on here, so that's good. Firmware for buddy couples, so I'm gonna download that. Firmware for buddy and brother. Let's download this. I'm assuming it's probably not going to be source code. Woo! So there are no, and like the URL for the YouTube channel is like not a vanity URL. It's a bunch of letters that I'm not even going to try typing in. Let's see, do they have, they don't have a guide. Alright, let's check on the second page here. Let's see, buddy couple, oh, manual and instructions, here we go. Guide for user, couple assembly, alright. That's definitely in Chinese. Alright, so guide for user file catalog. Okay. So here's, this is the, that's the brother. This is just like a we're showing off type of thing. Alright, so parts list. Looks like we got everything in the box there. Apparently the cord's a power supply, according to them. The printer is celebrated and printed before shipping. There will be a little film inside the nozzle, but the nozzle is brand new. Alright, so these screws are already in here. We use 2 T-nuts there, so that's good. They actually have those screws there to kind of align it, which is nice. We're going to use 2 M5/8s with the hammerheads. Or 3, it looks like. Okay. Yeah, I've seen them posting in random groups everywhere. Alright, on to the main event. I know, I want to know what the printer celebration is. Alright, well, that lines up. And they definitely did assemble it because there's marks on the extrusion. So, M5/8, so I need 6 M5/8s. I mean, I don't want them telling me what to do. I don't want to celebrate. Seems a little overkill for a printer, if you ask me. Alright, so let's put our hammerheads in. Of course, these are going to be a pain. This is T-slot extrusion, which doesn't really matter. It's just for structural. So, I'll put these in here. And then let's grab one of their tools. Assuming these are going to be the ones that go in there? Yep. I should just message them and be like, how do I celebrate the printer? And just watch them be confused. Like, what kind of celebration are we talking here? Like, are we getting trashed, or what's going on here? Like, I need to know how much, like, what level of partying are we doing here? Is this one? Oh, look at that. They actually made it so you can stick the hex wrench through the other side so you can actually get in there. So, good job, Athorbot. We're thinking ahead to make assembly a little bit easier. They like emoji, yeah. Yeah, I want to see, guys, I want to see emoji spam. Like, spam the chat with emojis. We're celebrating this printer right now. I want to see your emoji game. Like, just step it up. Let's make this emoji game one to remember, okay? Come on. Everybody, come on, spam that chat. Come on. I want like 1 million emojis up in this bitch. That's one, Mike. Gotta step it up. No, I got the stream preview up here, and everything's running buttery smooth, and YouTube's telling me it's A-OK. So, you might want to stop downloading all that midget porn, so you get your bandwidth back to watch the stream. There we go. See, rituals on it. There you go, Mike. Mike stepped it up. Tor, you know, if you don't step up your emoji game, I might have to find a replacement for you. I'm just putting the T-nuts in here. As AVE would say, this thing is pretty skookum. Frame-wise, they did a good job. Like, this thing's got some skookum to it. So make sure this is lined up properly. Yeah, we'll see. Looks nice. Now the only thing is, and I can see this being a problem, the carriage can't go all the way over on the right. But I think they said that it's limited to 170 because of that dual. But the single one doesn't, the single extruder one doesn't have that problem. So I'm probably going to change out this mixing hot end. I might put, I'll probably end up putting a V6 on here because it looks like it's Prusa rod spacing, which would be great. Which means all the existing carriages online for like the A-net, because this has the same type of bearing block setup that the A-net A8 has and a couple other i3 clones have. So I'll be able to get that build space back because this is a decent sized bed. It's 210. They're saying 210 by 270. Let's make sure I get these tightened down in here. The last one over here. Whew. Got my repping my MakerBot hat from Maker Faire. It is almost 1 o'clock here, so gotta bust out the generic monster I get from Aldi's. Oh yeah. All right. So we have the T-nuts in, or the hammerhead nuts. Let's go back here. So extruder, we're gonna need M3 by 10. Oh, those look miserable to get in. Okay. So, okay, at least there's no hex nuts. So they just screw to the top. Okay, both motors face the left direction. Okay, so okay, so they have, oh, interesting. So you can actually, there's a bracket you can get to actually mount these extruders on the rear. That'd be a hell of a lot of weight to put on the rear. Holy crap. Damn. Oh, okay, so you can download a printable mount for it. That's kind of neat. My ABS machine just finished. Okay, so we're not going to do that. So we're just going to put the motors up top like a sane person. And we need the M3. I should have kept that up. I think it's M3 by 10. Yeah, M3 by 10. One, two. And then we got to use this tiny little wrench. So, looks kind of miserable. I think these are the ones we're using. Yep. Oh man. That's kind of a pain. There's no good way to thread these in by hand, and These these are definitely drilled out for M4s. So I'm assuming I'm going to have to put... Okay. I don't think it said I needed a nut, but I could put an M3 nut. Just going back here. Yeah, M3x10 hex screw. So the screw holes on the top here are drilled out or tapped. Tapped too large. So I'm going to have to use some M3 nuts here to secure the extruders to the top. Z moves nice and smooth though, look at that. So that's good. Got to improvise here, but I'm probably gonna be short. I'm probably gonna be short some M3 nuts though. Maybe not. I don't know what the M3 nuts would be for, to be honest. All right. Well, grab my pliers here. Interesting choice for the extruder motor assembly here. There goes one. Yeah, I'll be able to get another screw in. It's tightening now, it's just taking forever. Man. Not fun at all. Alright, let me see if I have any M4 screws here. Because this is janky as hell. Here they are. Yeah, those holes are definitely M4 threaded. And just one more. There we go. All right, I got 4. Let's see if any other wrenches fit my screws. That's a little too big. There we go. Can I get these in here without taking the motor off? because that would be great if I could. Oh man, if I gotta take these extruders apart just to get the brackets on, that's gonna suck. Yep. Gotta take the extruders apart. There's no nut here, so I'm kind of SOL on that one. All right. All right. Phillips. Ha. If I did, I'm pretty sure this room would not be existing anymore. But she's pretty cool, so I can't really complain, honestly. Alright, there we go. Look at that. Alright. Screw these in. Wonder if this company will send their employees after me for talking bad about something like Gecko did, or East 3D did. Yeah, I'm noticing a theme here that, like the tornado, we had to take apart the extruder. Maybe I'm just forever destined and doomed to have improperly assembled extruders on my printers I get for review. That would suck. That's my curse. I guess there are worse curses to have, though. Like putting on the extruder motor the wrong way. Alright. I have the i3 Mega, the Anycubic i3 Mega is sitting up on my shelf right here. So, yeah. We'll see how that goes. I mean, that printer looks pretty promising, to be completely honest. And the other reviewers I talked to told me that they had pretty good experience with it, too. So that will be the next one that I'm doing a review on. Or live stream, whatever you want to call it. I don't do full review videos anymore because it's just not worth the time. Alright. So at least these brackets, the bracket though they give you is metal to mount this motor, so it's not like it's a printed part. It's going to be all flimsy and stuff on you. Alright, put the spring back in. we go. Alright, there's one. Now at least we know what we gotta do for the other one. Which went flying all the way over there when it fell. Who said? Oh, Anycubic. Ultimaker 2 clone. Does GearBest have that one? Because if that's the case... There goes the spring for the extruder. Which landed in my freaking HEPA filter. Alright, take this one apart now. This wouldn't be a TH30 stream if something didn't fall down or go flying across the room. Let's just be honest. Alright. See, this should have taken like 2 seconds. Instead, this just added like, what, 25 minutes onto the build time here? You know, it's just stuff like this that's aggravating. I watched it go over, as soon as I saw it fly, I watched it go into the HEPA filter. Is that the only time you're on your hands and knees with a flashlight? Just wondering. Asking for a friend. You still didn't tell me who you are, because I can't remember who you are, because I see your name all the time and I have a hard time associating people's handles with actual names. Ritual. Because I know you're a regular here. Man, is it getting hot in here though? I don't know where I put my... I got a temperature thermometer or whatever the hell you want to call it in here somewhere. It is 80 degrees in my office right now. And I have the window open. Jonathan from the Sierra 10 group, right? If I recall correctly. Alright. Okay, extruders are mounted. It only took 10 times as long as it should have. Alright. Alright, so we'll connect the tubes. Okay, so connect all the wires. Oh, okay. I was like, is that it? So I just noticed this. They've got a very small pin connection for the heating element, which I'm not, yeah. I'm not your pal, buddy. Turbo fan. Okay, so basically we're going to assemble the spools, hook up the wires. That's a high quality filament. Alright. Well, I'm assuming this one here is for the left. Let's go ahead and push that in. Might actually be an all metal hot end though, because the PTFE doesn't go that far in, so that's good. Yeah, printer, seriously, printer with a spool holder. Because I don't have Anthony here to hold my wires or my spool here this time. Alright, well, let's wire up the damn thing. Alright, so got our E cable here. This is nice. I like the cable management. I really like the cable management. Alright, they don't tell you which extruder is which, so I'm just going to make a best guess here. And let's hook up our hot end and our always on cooling fans here. Now they were smart enough to use, not on all of them, but they were smart enough to use almost different connectors and everything. You can accidentally hook the end stub up to the 12 volt for the turbo fan though, which would not be good. If you can take a guess there. Yeah, all they need to add was 1 and 2, that's it. But apparently that was too much work. So let's hook up our X. And then X end, or Z end stop here. And now what we got here? This has no label, so I'm assuming this is probably the other. Oh, the cable's here, so this is why. Okay, the labels are here, it's just they're buried in the sleeving. Alright. Oh, look, we got a little cord management on the back here. I'm assuming most of the cost of this machine is paying the Chinese people to physically assemble everything. There's a lot of assembly on here. Alright. Well, Gucci. They did not take the plastic film off of the control box cover here. I still got the power here from last stream. We are on 115 volts too. Hey! We're turning on. Alright, let's auto home here. And it's an LCD 2004 display, in case anyone was wondering. Okay. They're definitely running an old version of Marlin on here, though. Look at this belt, though. Like, it's kind of scrunched here. That's how it's supposed to be. And, our Z... They have these little markings here, so you can actually... level the Z. Well, that's nice. Yeah, they're probably using 4988s. We'll find out, though, as you guys know. Alright, so let's preheat. Let's see if it blows up. So the layer fan kicks on. This is going to go to 70. Well, let's see how she does. There's a fan on the side here with no grill. There's a 110, 110 or 115, 220. And you got the SD and the USB on the side here. Now they don't give you any. They don't give you an SD card to do a sample print, so I'm thinking maybe we're gonna have to do our own. Is what it looks like. I'm gonna actually move the extruder motor and see which one moves, because you can move it here, extruder. Trying to see if one of these is moving or not. Oh, it is. It's just super slow. Is it? Or it might not let me because it's not a temp yet. So bed's already at... Ooh, bed gets hot quick. So here's the only thing. Look at these cables kind of... Oh, I see what they want you to do. Okay. I was like, man, these cables are going to get in the way. Hey, that's pretty good. So bed's already at 71, so that heated up hella quick. These wires are pretty warm though. Fractal Pyramid, yeah, well, Tori, you've got my Facebook handle. You want to send me a link to what you're talking about here? I want to know which one of these extruder motors will actually move. I'm wondering if this is a 24 volt system. I'm kind of thinking it might be. I put my multimeter? I had it out earlier. Here it is. Let's see if it's 24 volts. Let's check the always on fans here. Man, it's a pain to get in here. Yep, 24 volts. That's why the bed heated up so quick. It's a 24 volt power supply. So that makes sense why they're using smaller wires and everything. Except neither of my extruder motors are moving. Alright. So, I guess let's hook it up to USB and see what happens. Hey, look at that, a nice long USB cable instead of that little dinky one that TiVo sent. Alright. Let's see if S3D will connect to it. Jonathan, I got your message. Okay, so we're connected with S3D here. I'm able to control it. I can tell you right now, they don't have the firmware set up correctly for 2-into-1 hot ends because they have two different temp sensors showing on the screen. You should only have one. Let me see if I tell it to extrude here. Let me see if Z moves. Z moves. That bed moved very abruptly. Alright, let's see if we got moving on the extruder. No. It's telling it to go, but it's not moving. Neither of them are moving. Yeah. So neither of my extruder motors are moving. So that's not good. There's always got to be something. You never just have a printer that works out of the box, can you? Let me try turning it off and on again. Board stays on with USB power though. So stepper motors turn by manually turning them. So I guess let's open it up and see what's going on here. Yeah, you guys probably just channeled your nerd energy to break it from afar, so I have to take it apart. Let's see here. Hopefully this comes apart easily. I'm hoping it's just a cable that got disconnected, or maybe it's a stepper driver that's bad. Supposedly, based on the pictures, the stepper drivers are socketed on here, and I have a ton of 84988 Allegros sitting here, and 8825 Texas Instruments, so I can pretty much fix, if it's a stepper driver issue, I can fix it. And don't do this at home. Or whatever other warning people usually say. I am a trained professional. Hey! Oh, and the pictures I saw were not correct. It is not socketed. Oh, damn! It is a mean well power supply. Okay. Well, that's good, considering it costs a lot. They're actually using good parts, so we know that. Oh, I'm sure you guys want to see the board, don't you? You guys want to see the board? Of course you do. Alright, so here is the Meanwell. See the Meanwell power supply there. So we got a 350-24, so that's a 14 amp 24 volt power supply. That's a good power supply. Crimp connectors on everything except for the case fan, so whatever. And there's the board. It's a 2560, and we got, let me see here. Let me grab my flashlight, hang on. Wrong button. That was the taser. A4 4982, so Allegro 4982s. So standard rep wrap display. So that's good. Like, just glancing at the VREFs look good. Z is wired in parallel. Why it's not moving, that is the question. Alright, well, let's update the firmware. How's that? You guys want to try that? Yeah, that power supply is the most expensive part in this thing. For sure. Alright, well, let's try updating the firmware that I downloaded from China. I downloaded it. Oh wait, it was in my incognito browser. So, oh, there it goes. I was like, where'd it go? Open up my TV monitor over there. Alright, so buddy, so it's a hex file. I'm assuming I'm going to need AVR dudes or something like that. So I've got Xloader here. That should work. Alright. Buddy11.hex, com15. Let's see if this will upload. Yep, Xloader works to upload their hex. Let's see if that works. Oh, what's up, Jerry? You're up a little late, aren't you? Alright, so I just uploaded their latest firmware that I got from their site. There's another hex file called Buddy Mix, which is, I'm assuming, the mixing. So someone said something about like they mix the colors and whatnot. You have to change the firmware, which is weird. Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna set the extruder to or the bed to 100, see if it gets up there. This new firmware though actually does fix the hot end configuration. So it's showing 230 here. And it's only 1. Cold extrusion prevented. Okay. So I gotta wait for the hot end to heat up because they have cold extrusion prevention turned on, which annoys me, honestly. I actually don't feel like waiting for that bed to get up to 100. I just want to see if these extruders are moving. Yeah, they definitely have cold extrusion prevention turned on. So by default, that should be 170. So once we hit 170 on nozzle, I should be able to see if it's actually going to move the motors. So if I do a M503, I don't think it's going to show me. Where's the Marlin version? Yeah, I'm not seeing it on here. My guess is probably old, knowing these Chinese companies. Yeah, cold extrusion prevention is still turned on. We're at 150, 152. Bed's at 60. So the bed heats up quick, but that's because it's a 24-volt system, so that's good. And they're doing bang bang for the bed. They're not doing PID because I see it toggling on and off. Yeah, we're still, so they must use the default Marlin setting for 170 for cold extrusion because it's not allowing me to extrude it cold. Almost there, 169. Okay, so I told it to move and the motor jumped, but isn't doing anything else. So let me disable the motors and swap these and see if this motor works. Because if that's the case, that means that this board has a bad stepper driver. it's not working on here. Let me see if the motor moves on X. I hook up the X cable to it. No, it's some with these motors, actually, because it jumped a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is check and see, because my guess is that they didn't. Let me disable motors here. I'm gonna reset it. No, the gears are fine. Mike, you're up, or Bill, you're up late today. Let me reset this. Okay, there we go. So if I tell E to move, it just engages a little bit and then drops out. So there's something going on with the motor. So what I'm gonna do here is check and see. So blue, green, red, black. Blue, green, red, black. So those are correct. Let me check the resistance on here. We're reading 2.3. And 2.3. So these look, the motors resistance wise look fine. Black, red, green, blue. Wonder what X and Y read resistance wise. 2.3 as well. So, what I want to know is, why is the extruder motor not working? When these are, like, I can turn the motor here by hand on both. Both of these I can turn by hand. That's the $1,000,000 question. I guess I could put together my own Marlin really quick. Just to test. What do you guys think? They are larger motors, but they're still wired the same, is the point I was getting at. That's what I was verifying, and the ends of the cables are wired the same on the inside too. So it's either going to be a firmware issue or a driver issue. I think it's... I want to say it's going to be a firmware issue, maybe? Alright. Let's do this. Let's power it up. and not electrocute myself. And let's check the VREF on these drivers. They're all set to 0.75, which should be good. Oh, man. Well, I'll give him a little bump. How's that? That's where clockwise made them go down. It's usually clockwise makes them go up on these drivers. Alright, so we're at 0.93 on each now. The board does have dual hot end support out of the box. The thing is, if they didn't have enough amperage, they would have still like stalled and made noise, is the thing. So we're almost at temp right now because they have cold extrusion prevention turned on, which means we have to wait. But it is a Mega 2560 board, so that's good. We're at 150, almost ready. $162. Getting close. Still just jumped and then cut out. VREF still looks good. Let me try this. Let me put the... See if I can put the Z on the E1. it's not a stepper driver issue. So here, I have Z on E. And it is moving, well, a little bit. I might have to reset it, hang on. But if you swap connections while you're, if you swap connections while you are on the motors while it's on, it pisses off the stepper drivers. Come on, connect to the board, simplify. There we go. Yeah, so it's not the stepper drivers, because see, I have Z hooked up to E, and you can see it's moving just fine. No, it's not a temp. It's not a temp. They do have that feature turned on in the firmware, but it's not a temp issue. It's a motor not moving issue. So let me see if I have. Alright, got some TiVo motors here. So let's hook this up here and see if the TiVo motor works. Might help if I turn the power on. And I got a heating failed message now. Because the power wasn't on. I accidentally shut the power off. Yeah, it's not extruding right now. So I got a different motor hooked up here. It's not, I don't think it's the cable. We'll find out once this hits temp. I'm pretty sure it's the motor itself. And I got two extruder motors here, but that's a good idea. I'm going to let this hit temp again. Actually, here, really easy to test that. I'll just hook up the other stepper motor. But we gotta wait for it to get temp. Deso Man, I think you're new. I haven't seen you around here. Welcome to the stream. We're at 163. Yeah, I already checked that. That's what I was checking for the polarity on these. or on the motors here to see what the coils were wired to. So the coils are wired the same way that the X and Y. I connected the X to the extruder motor here, and it did the same thing on X. So it's something with these motors. Yeah, you can test that with a multimeter. Well, the pole's been reversed, but you can test which pins here are coil A and coil B, which is what I do. Alright, so both motors do the same thing. Alright, so I don't think they're bad motors. And that's on the other cable, so that rules out the cable. Let me try this other motor. So the TiVo motor is just kind of going crazy here. But I think it might be because I need to restart it. Let me restart the board here. All the boards will use the same, or the stepper motor is a stepper motor pretty much. As long as coil A is on pins 1 and 3, and then B is on 4 and 6, we'll be in good shape. So let's see. I just restarted the board. TiVo motor moves fine. So this is moving fine. You can see here. Here's the TiVo motor. I'm gonna retract. See, TiVo motor moves fine. Yeah. So, some with these motors. As I destroy everything. Alright. Well, let me open up one of these motors and see. No, that little cover, there's like a cover on the bed. Like a PCB cover, so. Yeah, let me see how these are wired. Oh, you're going to bed? Oh no, goodbye bed. He meant goodbye bed, like my bed. Rest in peace. Twice. So spindle moves. Just gonna pop this back cover off. There we go. So center's not wired to anything. Just gonna compare this to these other ones I got here. Just gonna look at this TiVo motor as an example because this one's wired the same as the others. Yeah, it looks the same. What fan problem are you having, Zach and Tor? I'm assuming that's with the Ender. Alright, so looking at the inner workings of these, they look like they're wired correctly. As far as I can tell here. Yeah, the stepper motors look like they're wired correctly. So there's that. I put the motor back together here. The wires are fine. I hooked up another motor and it worked. So we just confirmed that these are wired the same as the TiVo, so what fan, Zach, what fan problem are you guys talking about? Yeah, I'll bump the amperage. I don't think it's going to make a difference, so we'll see. Alright, we're at 1.23 on each. Oh, getting a fan to work with it. Okay. Yeah, if you can figure out a mount to 5015 somehow, that'd be great. Or even the stock CR10 fan, because I got those, and I know Tor has some. Alright, we're heating the nozzle back up here. Yeah, come on, guys, celebrate. I want to see emojis. Let's celebrate. Celebrate good times. Yeah, but Tor, did you celebrate your printer yet? Because if you didn't, the fan's not going to work. Alright, we're almost at a temp where I can extrude. This is Aldi brand Monster. Let me just double check the stepper wiring to confirm. 'Cause I'm pretty sure this is what it should be going to. Yeah, green and red should be swapped, which they are. Yeah, I don't think the wiring's the issue. Alright. Let's see. Are we gonna move? Nope. Just shits the bed. Wonder if it's too much amperage. And it's like going into a current limit and just shutting down. Let's see. Alright, I got it 0.5 now. Board like timed out. There's no stamp indicating things on here. There are markings, but no like indicators. There usually aren't. Alright, later, Jay. Thanks for stopping by, man. No, they're NEMA 17s for sure. I just disassembled one. Alright, we're almost at temp again. I got the VREF turned down. No, it's not it. Oh. Well, I'm not sure what to say here. Yeah, so here's a weird thing. The motors are, like, the resistance on the coils is good. Stepper motors really go bad. That's the thing. So it's got to be a wire. I'm going to try a different cable that's shorter just to rule that out. I got one from the Tarantula sitting here. So let me try another stepper cable here. To reset the board. No. Still no dice. It's not the cable. Not the cable. If they were wound in reverse, the motor would be shaking. It just goes boop. That's it. That's all it does. It goes boop. So that's not it. Weird. Really weird. I mean, the options are I could swap the motors out, but it's already 2 o'clock in the morning here. And, yeah, it's really disappointing because I was kind of excited for this printer. But, God, man, if I bought this, I'd be pretty upset. So, I'm gonna message the Athorbot guy. I have him on Facebook, and be like, what's going on? Because I'm going to see if he's See if he's up. Let me see. Or see what they say. See if they're on. So yeah, yeah, see what they say. I don't know if they're on. It said active 7 hours ago, so maybe they're coming on. I know the Caroline, I think, is the contact that sent me this, but it is, I don't know if she's up at our time, because I know some people in China over there now are awake when we are, so that they can handle sales and support and that kind of stuff. I don't know what schedule she's on, but let's start Googling here. Let's see if we can figure out, because I've honestly not seen an issue like this before. This is a really odd one. Let's see if the Athorbot group has anything in there. I think I'm only in one. Athorbot printer owners. Athorbot 3D printer. Athorbot couple. One. Okay, so I'm in 3 Athorbot groups here. Okay. There's one group, it's only got 2 posts. I'm looking to see what kind of motors people have. I'm just going to go through the pictures here and see if I can see what motors people have on theirs. Because if mine, I got mine relatively, like, when it was new, relatively new. Now, in the pictures, they're showing smaller motors now than what are on my machine. And in the picture, what's up, Corey? I haven't talked to you in forever. That's good, man. Make that money. So I'm just trying to find, like, any other photos people get or people have of the ones they have. I only found one so far. I just want to see if the ones that people are sending out or the ones that people have gotten now have a different motor than what mine shipped with. Because if that's the case, I might have gotten like an old batch or something. I found a picture in the background. This guy's got the big beefy motors and his is working. I'm not sure what the mixture settings are. I haven't even gotten that far. Yeah, this is the single firmware though. So it should still extrude on one motor. The Tronxy is actually printing right now. Here, let me go to my small cam here so I can show you. Tronxy's been doing pretty well. As you can see. I'm basically just having to do a bunch of prints just to break everything in. As for this printer though, I'm not sure. I wonder if I change... Let me try changing the voltage on here, on this power supply. See if that has any effect. Alright, I'm going to drop it down to 20. Let's see. Actually, I'll drop it down once I heat the nozzle. This is an electro boom. Okay, back at 24 volts. Let's let the nozzle heat up, and I'm going to drop it down to 20 and see if it'll move the stepper. It's just a really odd issue. Really odd. Yeah, the CR10 is a solid buy. The X5S, it's printing okay. It's not terrible. I think I need to change out my my 30mm fan I have on there. I've got a slim one. I thought it would be pushing enough air, but I'm definitely getting some heat creep. Or I was just retracting too far, honestly. I think I might have been retracting too far. Because I got a nice Evercool 30mm fan on there. If you want a 120mm second Core XY, it's probably going to be your best bet. just because that's what they're designed to do, or a delta. But I'm not a fan of deltas. They look cool, but they're kind of a pain. So nozzle's almost at temp, and I'm going to drop the voltage down and see if that fixes it. Alright, I just dropped the voltage down to 20. Let's see if the extruder motor will move. No, I don't know if you guys heard it, but it jumped. So, that's not the issue. Let me set this back to 24. Alright, 24 on the dot. And I think we're going to call it a night, because there's, like, this is a weird issue. I'm going to have to actually figure out what's going on, because this has got me stumped. Really weird issue. So, like I said, it's not the stepper motor being bad, I don't think. I think it's... honestly, I don't even know what to think. Because it works with these other motors. These TiVo motors turned just fine. If anybody has any questions, you got any things you want to go over before I end the stream here, be more happy to answer them. But yeah, this is disappointing. I don't know why it wasn't working. I don't know if these were printed on this printer, and if they were, I don't know how they got it working. So I'm gonna hold my thoughts until we figure out what's going on here, but both these... Well, let's do this. Let me whip up a quick Marlin, because this is a standard 2560 board. Let me whip up a quick Marlin, then we can roll that out. How's that? Would you guys be happy with that? Alright. Let me download a quick version of Marlin here. I already have it, actually. Because I've got like a base version. Yeah, I have the firmware. I loaded their latest firmware on here. But I was doing it with the other one too. I'm just going to put together a Marlin right here. I got my base 116. So let me start a new one. Athorbot, I'm copying my base in. I just gotta set up, all I really need to do is set up the LCD, and that's about it. I don't care about end stops or any of that stuff. I just want to set up the LCD, and then that way I can see what's going on here. Alright, so this will literally take me a second here, because I've already got a base done. Ramps EFB, that should be what this is using. Two extruders, single nozzle. Alright, scroll down. I need to change the LCD to the RepRap Smart Display. Or RepRap Discount Smart Controller. And not the full graphic. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and upload. I'm compiling and uploading right now. So we will have a stock Marlin to go on here. S3 is disconnected. I forgot to turn off the bed probe here, because this obviously doesn't have it. Not yet, anyways. Probe, I just need to comment out fixed mounted probe. Where is it? Or comment out the ABL routine. Yeah, that's what's doing it. Upload. Build quality wise though, I'm pretty impressed with this thing. Yeah, I gotta comment, man. I've got like in my firmware here, my base, like since all my printers have the ABL, I gotta disable like all the ABL stuff before I upload this to it. Okay, it's compiling. Hopefully that's it. I think I disabled all my crap. I just want a base, like this is gonna be a very rough firmware, but it'll allow us to test everything. Okay, it's uploading. So this is essentially gonna be a pretty stock Marlin. I just need to be able to move the extruder. That's all I need to do. So let's see if that's the case. Done uploading. Okay, shows TH3D firmware ready. Alright, got our thermistors reading. I'm going to connect here. And change my baud rate. Okay, firmware's good. LCD's working. Nope, it's not the firmware. Not the firmware, which I didn't think it was. Alright. Well, it is a hardware issue. I don't think the wiring order needs to be changed. I mean, in theory, if I just swap the two pins, I mean, I'll try it. If I swap the two centers or the two outers. Alright. Center pins are swapped. I'm not sure if this is going to do it, but whatever, let's try it at this point. We're this far down the rabbit hole. Yeah, these pins are definitely weird on here because the bed turns on the hot end. So their pin definitions are different. Which means my cold extrusion is turned on. So the hot end turns the bed on. Hot end turns the bed on, bed turns the hot end on. That's weird. I'll have to figure out the pin definitions on this board. Alright, we're almost at temp on the hot end. So I forgot to turn off cold extrusion prevention, which is a feature I don't usually have on my firmwares. But the base one, it's turned on by default. So, that's annoying. Almost there. Hey! The motor's moving. So center pins. Go figure. That's weird. Usually when the center pins are swapped, it vibrates like crazy. Alright. Yeah, that's really weird. Because usually if that's the case, they'll vibrate. Because on the CR10s, so that means I gotta swap them on both. Celebrate! Just watch the direction be reversed now from what their firmware is. Alright, uploading their firmware back on here. Or trying to. I totally selected the wrong board here. Alright, Mega 2560 buddy 11.hex upload. Alright, uploading. This is one they sent me for review. Alright. Let's open up S3D. Alright, I'm heating everything up. Let me see if I can find a profile on the Facebook group for this printer. Chris Athorbot, there we go. Alright, let's import this. 116, I haven't had time to work on it today. I'll be working on it tomorrow though. Alright, let's see if I can extrude now. Yeah, it's going. Oh, we're melted filament. I'm definitely going to have to turn the VREF back up. Alright. There we go. I downloaded an FFF profile that someone else already set up. Oh, shit. I'm printing, it's a customer order. They're Dungeons and Dragons game pieces. I'm looking for a screw to, I'm going to put that screw back in I took out, but I need one for the other. I guess it doesn't matter. So they have one for this one, right? Basically, I don't think there's enough tension on the thing here. Now I'm getting heating failed on this. Ugh. Alright, let's try heating the extruder again. There we go. Oh my god. I don't get paid enough for this shit. Hell's my OBS? There we go. My question, so that this means that these were not printed on this printer, because if they were, these would have worked. We're almost at 170 where I can try to start extruding. Alright, so it's at temp. I'm going to put something in the other one. Because I have a feeling that this dual nozzle, if you don't have something loaded in both, is going to push the filament back out the other end. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that's what it was doing. Why the other one wasn't working well. I'm also bumping the temperature up. So both of them are feeding in. I just got the purple coming out there. Alright, well, I guess let's home everything. Now, I'm using S3D's bed leveling wizard to do this. Did you hear it hit the side? That's okay. Well, we should get a freaking print out of this thing at this point. Alright, well, let's see what she's got. We're starting a print. Tor, what do you think I'm going to print? What's the first thing you print on a printer when you get it? Yeah, there goes my binder clip. Way too low in the, or way too high in the center there. We're printing. We are printing. I'm printing a Banshee. It's a Banshee. So the nozzle's not getting over 208 or 208 with the fan on. So I'm going to turn the fan down a little bit. The two center wires were reversed on the, what do you call it? Two center wires were reversed on the extruder motors. So the filament is not feeding in smoothly, even with a ton of tension on these. Not a fan of this hot end. It feels like it's jamming. I'm going to try upping the temp to see if we can get... Yeah, this one, this side's jamming. The left. The right is not, well, the right's not going, but I can kind of push it through. Yeah, this is, it's failed. Okay, well. Oh, this was very anticlimactic. So, yeah. Oh, excuse me. Oh, man. Yeah. So, this was severely under extruding. The layers aren't even bonded. I'm going to attribute this to the hot end. Because look at it, I was able to just pull this benchy right in half. Yeah. So, right now, my thoughts are the hardware-wise is pretty good. I do not like this hot end. I think this is where we're having problems here. And there's a ton of heat creep. I'm touching this cold end heatsink here, and it's hot. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it a good mark on build quality because the frame is sturdy as hell. The extruder, like actual extruder assemblies here are good. Power supply is good. Board's good. You know, I see what they're trying to do here, but this 2-into-1 hot end just doesn't work very well. So I think what I'm going to end up doing with this is I'll end up doing my own firmware for it. And keeping it dual extrusion, but I'm going to do a V6 hot end on here with the Y adapter I was talking about earlier. I was going to grab my measuring ruler. Ah, here it is. I want to see what the rod spacing was on here, because I believe Prusa is 46 center to center, and that's what it looks like this is. So that means I'll be able to use ANET and Prusa carriages on this printer, which is great because that means all the existing carriages that are out for like the ANET A8, the Prusa i3 will work on this. So converting this is going to be pretty easy to actually change this hot and out to put a V6 on here. I may or may not even get rid of. Well, I'm not going to get rid of the 24 volt because then I can't run this heated bed as well. So all in all, it's build quality. Like I said, build quality I think is good, but this hot end does not get hot enough. It couldn't maintain past 208 with the layer fan on. Right now, the buddy couple. Let's take a gander over to GearBest here. Buddy couple dual extruder. So they want $535 for this machine. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would say at best this should be in the 400 maybe, only because it's got the dual extruders. But there were a lot of problems with this for a printer. So yeah, it's hard to price out. If this was a single color, I would say it'd have to be around the 250 mark to be worth it, because the build volume is decent. It's a little bit bigger than i3, but yeah, 535 bucks. I would not recommend that at that price. So, considering I'm gonna have to go through and change a lot of stuff. So you can see here, this is their hot end setup, and that I'm not a big fan of it. You can see here, this is a little misleading. So this is why I thought it was socketed drivers. This is what they show here, unless I just got a different version. And this is shown with glass. This one did not come with glass. So I'm wondering if I got an older version. I haven't had it for that long. They sent it to me in the last few weeks. So I don't know. It's hard to say. And then you got the x-axis where it's hitting the side here. You can't even address the full bed on the X. Yeah, it's a hard sell for me with these shortcomings it has. But you can tell they did try to make it a decent printer. Is the bottom line here. You can tell they tried to make a decent printer. It's got a good power supply. You got a 24 volt system. Beefy motors on the extruder. You know, the bed is fairly stable. Yeah, I mean, let me see if these holes line up with if these are like the ANET spaced holes. Not sure if they are. Let me see what screw heads these are. Yeah, it's not the ANET spacing for the bed. Alright guys, it is now 3 o'clock in the morning where I'm at, and that means I have to go to sleep. I'm going to end up having to overhaul this, and I think I will because I think it's a good platform to start on. But at $500, if I bought this, I'd be sending it back. I do appreciate I appreciate the opportunity for them to let me review this, because a lot of people were asking me about it, but there's just a lot of shortcomings with this right now. Like I said, the extruder not being able to print on the entire bed, you know, the extruder motor issues we had, and then, you know, the fact that this hot end is jamming up on the first print and it's not able to maintain a high temp. So there's a lot of good, there's a little bit of a bad, but I don't think it's worth the 500 something dollar price tag. So they're going to need to come down on the price or fix these issues. You know, and you can tell, like I can even look under the extruders, it was grinding filament because it was jamming. So this hot end's like Bob Marley because it's always jamming, man. Anyways, I'm gonna get to sleep. Don't spend 500 something dollars on this. I'd say if you really want a good base to start off for dual extrusion, then my high end would be 400, and that's if I really wanted a dual extruder system to convert, because all I'm gonna have to do is print a new carriage, swap the hot end, and put that Y adapter on. So there's not gonna be a ton of work, so that's good. But there's still gonna be work to get it actually printing correctly. But that's where I'm gonna leave it. And then, shoot. And then I'll do a follow-up once I do some modifications to it. Like I did the CR10S, or not the CR10S, the Tronxy X5S. You know, that thing's printing pretty well. I've just been running through its paces. It's just been doing test prints the last few days just to get all the bearings and everything, you know, broken in, make sure nothing's going to fail. You know, so there's that. But anyways, I'm going to end this stream, and then we got the Anycubic i3 Mega coming up. I might do that tomorrow because I got to get all these printers set up and on the shelves and out of the boxes. So maybe that'll be tomorrow. No promises. But yeah. So yeah, but Zach, you said dual extruder Ender 2. That's basically what I'm going to be doing to this, is what you have on your Ender 2, just on this. So I'm going to keep these up here. Just swap out the hot end of the carriage, and I should be in business. So, but anyways, thank you for joining me, everybody. And those of you that are going to be rewatching this, thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe to the videos. I'm going to put links down in the description at some point if you want to check this printer out and buy it along with other ones that I use. So, but I'm going to sign off. Thank you for joining me.